The second way, and possibly even the easiest way to make the bench seat sides, is to come through and insert your plans as a canvas. So I'll show you how to do that. I'm going to come through, and what I've actually done is taken a screenshot of these plans. You can do that easily. If you've got a Mac, Command Shift 4 brings up these little crosshairs and it asks what would you like to take a screenshot of. Just that section there. And we're going to come through and insert that into the drawing. So up here under Insert, we're going to attach what's called a canvas. It asks you which face do you want to put it on, and it's easiest if you come through from the beginning and click on the right hand side face. Select the image. So if I come down to my desktop, take that screenshot I just took and click open, you'll notice it will drop it into, click OK, your drawing here. Now zoom in on that. If I go to my right hand side view, it's quite small. And so what we actually need to do now, so that I've got a scale 1:1 drawing, I'm going to come through and use a tool called, or we're going to calibrate it, which means bring it into the correct scale. So over here, we're going to open up in our visualization the canvas. You can turn it on or off so you can see it or not. We want to leave that on for the beginning and click on the image here. You can right click or control click and calibrate. Now what that's going to do is ask me to pick 2 points on the page. So I'm going to pick a nice long dimension here, this one here, 380. And if I click on that point and that point there, it says on the drawing, just the way that I've dropped that image in, it's 9mm. That's why it was so small. What I want it to be is 380. So I'm going to type that in, click OK, and you'll notice it's blown that drawing up. So I need to zoom right out. And now it's in the correct scale. So I can come through and start to trace this out or draw over the top of it, put my construction lines in and work that shape out. If you come through and choose your line tool, it'll ask you which plane do you want to work in. We're going to choose that right hand plane there, and I can just start to come through, let's say from this point here, and click, click, all the way around. I'm just going to trace that. Nice and simple. If you're having trouble getting it nice and straight, then zoom in and it'll allow you to move a bit more accurately when you're zoomed in on that. Click on that point there, and we're going to actually put our green tick there to detach that. Change it to an arc by 3 points. So we're going to click from here, and it'll say, where's the second point? That is, what's the diameter of the arc you want? It's just to there. And then the third one, it's going to bend that up. So I'm going to find the center, click, and you'll notice that color changed. So I'm going to stop sketch. Because I've actually filled in that shape now, if I come through, I can turn the canvas off now that I've picked that up, and it's shaded that, which means that I'm actually ready to click E for extrude, select the profile, and according to my plans, these legs are a thickness of 35mm thick. So in my box here we can drag that out or the other direction there, but I want to make it very accurate at 35mm. Click OK, and there's my legs. If I come back to the right hand side view and turn my canvas back on, I can work out where I cut that hole and where I put my groove in here. And to do that, we're going to use circle diameter tool. Click in the middle of the circle, And this one, as you can see here, it's a diameter of 85 millimeters. So you can actually come through and just work it to the drawing there or to the canvas, or you can type it in 85 millimeters, click OK, and stop sketch. Now I'm going to click on that circle, E for extrude, select the profile, and this time we don't want it to extrude out of there, we want it to go into it. So you'll notice here, this operation, when I go into a solid object, it actually changes, oops, just do that again, E for extrude, it actually changes to cut, which means they're going to cut a hole in there, which is just what we want. I'm going to change that to 35 millimeters. It's saying it will cut. Now I click OK, and then it's cut my hole in that there. You'll notice on the canvas that there's actually a chamfer around there. That is a 45-degree routed edge around there. So we can do the same if I just turn off the bodies and look at the canvas. You can see that there. Turn that back on. Get rid of the canvas now, and we can go to modify and put in a chamfer. You can do a round over if you like, or different type of router bit. We just want a chamfer if you're copying the plans. And you're going to click on the edge that you would like to chamfer, and then you can either drag it, big one, small one. We might start off with 5 mil and see what that looks like. That's looking pretty good. If I have a look at the plans, I wonder if it tells me. There we go. It says that we've got a 6 mil cove. So that's saying it's not a chamfer, it's a cove, which is a bit more of an internal round over. I'm happy with the chamfer for my project. So I'm going to leave that on there, and we'll make it 6 mil as well. So it follows the plans. Click OK, and that's done. You guys are going to come through and draw a rectangle on the face there now. Extrude it in. The distances are, it needs to run through the center. It needs to be 6 millimeters wide, and it's going to go groove 6 millimeters deep as well. So you'll cut it into that object 6 mil deep. When you finish, of course, come through, change the physical material depending on what you're making. I've got the wood open there. I'll change that to mahogany. See if that takes. Not liking that for some reason. Check my visual display. There we go. Had to wait for it to be highlighted. And you can play around with those materials. Again, don't forget, save your work in the correct folder. So for this one, for me, it's in my Year 10 tutorials folder under bench seat. And we're going to call this one bench seat sides using canvas.